Musical instruments. Welcome to the lecture series in Karnatic music. In this session, let's discuss about musical instruments. Introduction. India possesses a rich variety of musical instruments. Indian musical instruments, like any other attribute, represent India's diversity. There are as many as 500 of them, each with a distinct name, shape, and construction. Each instrument has its own technique of play. Instruments of varying degrees of loudness, compass, and tone color are met with. Most of the Indian musical instruments have evolved over centuries and has a unique history behind their evolution. Some instruments were developed in the country while some others came from foreign lands, but transformed and developed by skilled Indian artists with the passage of time. Almost all the types, representatives of the stringed, wind, and percussion groups, are seen here. Gamakas are the life and soul of Indian music. Instruments like the Satatantri Veena Swaramandala and Yar, which were not capable of producing gamakas, gradually fell into disuse. Instruments like Gotuvadyam, provided with sympathetic strings and with facilities for the accurate adjustment of Shruti, are of interest from the acoustical and physical point of view. The decorative work on some instruments contribute to their dignity and aesthetic appearance. The subject of Indian instrumentation is one of absorbing interest. The musical instruments of India have been so devised as to fully serve the needs of her highly developed melodic system of music. Except the Western harmony, all other features of an advanced system of music are seen in India. If this fact is borne in mind, one can easily appreciate as to why the musical instruments of India have followed a particular line of development and why instruments of the keyboard type, like the piano and the organ, did not develop in India. Raga is the pivotal concept of Indian music. Ragas derive their individuality through the characteristic quarter tones and graces. Since keyboard instruments can give only notes of fixed pitch, these types of instruments did not develop in India. Likewise, Indian wind instruments like the flute, Nagaswaram, and the Shehnai have no keys. The clarinet, oboe, and other wind instruments of the West are provided with keys. The closing or the opening of the finger holes in these instruments is done by operating the keys. Keyed instruments are necessary for playing the harmonic system of music, wherein the music is written to different keys, unlike Indian music, wherein the music is performed on the key. For playing the delicate quarter tones and graces, the fingers have got to be in direct contact with the finger holes here. Janta Swara Prayogas have an important place in Indian music. Janta Swaras in the flute are produced by finger strokes. If Jantaswaras are played in this manner on the keyed wind instruments of the West, a click sound will be heard. A foreigner familiar with the highly elaborate keyed mechanism of the Western wind instrument, on seeing the keyless Nagaswaram and the bamboo flute, is likely to think that these are very simple instruments and are capable of producing only simple music. A close analysis and observation of the technique of play will reveal the complicated finger technique used to play Indian classical music. As far as the blowing technique is concerned, there are many things in common. There are terms here corresponding to single tonguing, double tonguing, and triple tonguing, quadruple tonguing, and flutter tonguing. Many gamakas are played by cross-fingering devices. The occurrence of terms like rakta, alankrita, purna, prasanna, vyakta, vikrishta, lakshana, sama, sukumara, and madhura signify the 10 excellences of Ghana, pointing out to the highest level of excellence aimed at an instrument play. The art of making musical instrument is as old as the Vedas. Jyakara was the developer of the jya or the ancient harp. The study of the historical evolution of the 500 and odd musical instruments, which India proudly claims to possess, will show how the developer of the instrument applied his genius and kept pace with the development of the art of music. When the raga alapana emerged as an important branch of the classical music, the fretted veena developed, throwing into background the yar. The fretted veena has facilities for stopping the playing strings and for playing graces by the deflection of the strings. The veena has drone cum tala strings. These advantages in the fretted veena made the yar, with its limitations, make its exit from the realm of South Indian concert music. It is, however, a pity that the yar was allowed to sink into oblivion. The rich experience inherited by the makers of the yar has become a thing of the past. The materials used in India for the manufacture of musical instruments and their accessories are jackwood, blackwood, redwood, ivory, raktachandana, kadira wood, ebony, silver oak, pine, Himalayan fir, red and white cedar, margosa, gourd, bamboo, cane, reed, earthenware, the skin of sheep, calf, buffalo, varanas, and the metals like silver, bronze, brass, copper, and iron. The plant, animal, and mineral kingdom have contributed their share to the making of musical instruments. Tanakku was the kind of wood used for making resonators in the yar. Strings of gut, metal, and silk were used. Strings made from seasoned fibers of plants were also used. In very ancient times, strings of darba grass, properly seasoned and twisted, were also used. The frets in the veena were made of steel, bronze, or silver. Wire plectra made of steel, copper, or silver are used in playing the veena and gotuvadyam, and a triangular shaped horn plectrum is used in playing the swarabhat. The wood that is used for stopping the strings in the gotuvadyam is made of blackwood, rosewood, buffalo horn, ivory, or the core of the tamarind tree. This wood is called kodu in Tamil. An instrument played with this wood came to be called koduvadyam. Koduvadyam becomes kottuvadyam according to Tamil grammar. This name Gotuvadyam occurs in the Telugu Kavya Sringara Savitri, written by Raghunatha Nayak in the early 17th century. The wood that is used for making musical instrument undergoes an elaborate process of seasoning. In the veena, tambura, and the gotuvadyam, the wood used for the bowl part and the dandi part is taken from the same tree. This ensures that the age of the wood being the same, one can expect uniform responsiveness over the whole compass of the instrument. Since the purchasers have rarely the time to be present at the time of the joining of the bowl and the dandi by the instrument developer, and thus satisfy that the two pieces are from the same parent tree, they prefer ekanda veenas. In an ekanda veena, the bowl and the dandi are scooped out from one single block of long wood. In the veena, gotuvadyam, and tambura, the bowl is covered with a piece of thin wood. In the swarabhat, the resonator is covered with a parchment belly. In the making of musical instruments, whether of the chordophonic, aerophonic, membraphonic, or autophonic groups, care is to be taken to see that 1. The quality of the tone is pleasing and delightful. 2. Adequate facilities are provided for accurate tuning within a reasonably short space of time. 3. The instrument presents an artistic appearance. 4. The handling is easy and does not involve undue physical energy on the part of the performer. The bridge on the veena, gotuvadyam, and tambura are broad and curved, unlike the sharp edges of the bridge in the members of the violin family. Over the bridge of the veena, a plate of bronze is placed. This helps in the production of a clear tone. There are monophonous instruments like the flute and polyphonous instruments like the veena. There are also the demonstrational instruments like the Grihabeda Pradarshini and Grama Murchana Pradarshini, and concert instruments like the veena and the nagaswaram. In addition, there is the Pradarshana veena, a samastivadya, wherein one can play classical music and also illustrate the various facts, laws, and phenomena relating to music. The truth relating to the Dhruva Veena Chala Veena experiment, described by Bharata in his Natya Shastra, can be demonstrated and verified with this instrument. The hemispherical resonator of the veena, the bucket-shaped resonator of the swarabhat, the cylindrical resonator of the tuntina, the trapezoid resonator of the santur, the conical bore of the nagaswaram, the barrel-shaped resonator of the Mridangam, etc., present interesting study from the point of view of solid geometry. The resonators are of course hollow. Bell making is a great art in India. Bronze bells giving clear musical notes can be heard in many temples. In the Chidambaram temple, one can notice that the note of the bell and that of the conch blend beautifully. Both these instruments are played together during temple rituals, and the notes given by them bear the consonantal relationship. The facilities available for accurate tuning in stringed instruments deserve special attention. The beads threaded on the strings in the tambura near the bridge and the gliding rings over the langar in the veena and the gotuvadyam enable finer adjustments in tuning. The heightening effect of the jivali in the tambura is of interest from the scientific point of view as well. The process of making the mridangam, shuddha maddalam, and other percussion instruments is a great and intricate art. The fixing of the black paste on the right head of the mridangam to the requisite quantity has enabled the instrument to produce a beautiful tone. Rhythmical harmony. The concepts of rhythmical harmony and tala exposition are distinct contributions of India to the world musical thought. In an Indian concert, the performer on the percussion instruments does not merely give time beats. He provides a cross-rhythmical accompaniment continuously. In the absence of the rhythmical commentary of the mridangam player, much of the beauty underlying the musical construction of the compositions and the series of kalpana swaras by the principal will go unnoticed. Instruments like the mridangam and the art of dancing have kept alive certain aspects of rhythm all these centuries. Solo displays on the mridangam, expounding a chosen tala just like a raga alapana through the stages of introduction, exposition, and conclusion are particularly fascinating and thought-provoking. To listen to them is an artistic and rhythmic experience by itself. One can notice the sense of rasiktva and high artistic taste when one critically studies the drums used as accompaniments to various kinds of music. The play on the drum daki, along with the music of the mukhaveena in the stillness of night in temple rituals, is very pleasing. The drone pipe used on such occasions provides a pleasing background. The rich and colorful variety of Indian musical instruments adds splendor to the cultural heritage of the nation. The instruments and their classifications are many, so a detailed study is required to know them appropriately. Let us discuss them in the forthcoming sessions. Thank you.